Well, hello everybody and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I was just deciding to rest today because
we weren't even going live.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go live. However, then we got the news that America just dropped the bomb.
No, they zooted Iran.
America just zooted Iran. So it's zooted 3 locations inside Iran. Wherefore, we decided that we must go live to cover this. And the problem is that I'm seeing right now, like videos, people sharing videos, like, look, this is Iran right now. But apparently, many of those are fake. I'm really trying very, very hard to find actual footage from the site, but it's very difficult right now. Very, very, very difficult right now. Very difficult right now. Very difficult to find actual videos. But David, what's up, man? How you doing?
Just sharing the tweet. Just sharing the tweet. What did it
Good,
say?
good.
We're live discussing the
I don't care
breaking
what you say.
news. Discussing the breaking news about the United States zooting Iran. All right, got that up.
Awesome. What happened is, so just yesterday and the day before, we talked a lot about when America is going to enter the war, when America is going to go in, when America is going to take decisive action. And the thing is, just the other day, Donald Trump said that he will make a decision within 2 weeks. And from what I have learned so far from Donald Trump,
he did say that. I'll let you know in 2 weeks.
This time I thought, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I did say, okay, it seemed kind of flip-flop, but I thought I'm not going to say anything. It seemed like he's planning something. And there we go. Earlier today, it was reported that certain aircrafts were leaving America, stealth, moving over. And just an hour ago, or 2 almost, we received the news that America bombed 3 sites in Iran. And the news is that with these 3 precise strikes, Iran's remaining nuclear sites, nuclear facilities have been completely destroyed. That is what the news are. Now, I would like to still wait and see for all the details to see what actually happened and what can be confirmed. But right now, what we are hearing right now is that the remaining nuclear sites that Iran had are completely destroyed, and Iran basically has decades of nuclear program, decades of nuclear facilities, decades of preparing for nuclear weapons. All of it is gone now.
That is kind of messed up. Like, hey, Iran, don't worry. I'm going to decide. I'll give you 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I'll decide what to do and what to react and how we're to move forward. So, hey, no, don't mind us. Don't mind us. Don't mind us. Boom in your face. I told you 2 weeks. It was actually a day. It's kind of messed up, man.
Now I want to look at some of the stuff here. I'm basically just getting much of the knowledge about this, much of the information about this as we speak.
Hey, don't forget to check Matt Gaetz when it's yay, Trump bombed Iran.
Yeah. So
what a hero, what a legend. It's like, dude, we just saw your video yesterday.
Here is the information. So America dropped 6 GBU-57 bunker buster bombs on the Fordo nuclear site.
Whoa, bunker busters, man.
Bunker busters. These were meant to. So the Fordo nuclear site is buried deep in the ground.
That was I don't just to give everyone a heads up. The bunker busters. That's what the men of Al Zut called themselves as their nickname.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, sorry about that. They busted Muhammad's bunker. But go ahead. Sorry.
So the Fordo nuclear facility is about like 100 meters underground, and the funny thing about this is the funny thing about the whole Fordo.
How far you say?
100 meters or 260 through 300 feet. So the issue about this whole place is that it is an underground nuclear facility, and the underground nuclear facility exists only to secretly underground, far away from global scrutiny, far away from the public, far away from the rest of the world, enrich uranium, and the entire purpose to do this underground in secret, far away from the public, is very, very obvious. It is to advance toward nuclear weaponry. The whole existence of this place was only uncovered through intelligence, through foreign intelligence, through Israel and America's mutual intelligence efforts, through whistleblowers, and so on. They secretly had this facility running. And the only reason that you run a nuclear site secretly is not that you use it for civilian purposes, but that you actually prepare something really bad, So it was uncovered. It was then uncovered that they are going for dangerous amounts of nuclear enrichment in these facilities, and the world has repeatedly tried to stop Iran, and they didn't listen. Right now, nobody knows what they have been doing down there. So eventually, it was necessary that Israel and America go in and destroy the place because nothing else worked out. And now it's gone. Now it's gone.
Kind of funny though, isn't it? It's like, these stupid Americans, death to America, death to Israel. They want to stop our nuclear bombs, but we will just build them on the ground where no infidels can ever touch them.
Yes.
Boom. We have bombs that go through all the ground, right?
Yes.
We got bombs, right?
The funny thing is, Israel just Israeli representatives were saying earlier today, and at this point I'm not really sure if Israel and America are just coordinating and just acting and just pretending in public to just to be kind of out of touch with each other and all that. But earlier today, the Israeli or was it, I think yesterday or today, the Israeli side said we don't have the luxury to wait for America to enter and to help out. We will, under any circumstances, go and do our best to take out these facilities. And then today, boom. So U.S. bombs 3 Iran nuclear sites, entering war. They call it entering the war. President Trump announced Saturday the United States had bombed 3 Iranian nuclear sites, including the Fordo site that is located in a mountainside. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan, Trump posted on Truth Social. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. So he's saying we destroyed it, and now it's time to make peace. Okay, let's see a few videos here.
At the moment, the penetrating bomb is dropped from the aircraft. It can rely on energy to continue drilling down in the direction of the sharp warhead, just like a nail being driven into wood, without detonating immediately. At the same time, because its casing is made of high-strength materials, it can protect the internal structure from damage during impact. In order to achieve precise strikes, the delay fuse at the back serves to delay detonation until the penetrating bomb reaches the set depth, at which point it will detonate the explosives according to specific instructions. This design not only destroys enemy underground factories or laboratories, but also minimizes excessive damage to surface targets.
There you have it. They don't call it the Al-Zut missile for nothing.
It penetrates the ground. And this was kind of a...
it penetrates.
The end there was kind of a poor example of how it actually explodes underground. But Trump also posted this. Funny, I follow this this OSINT account. He posted this on his Truth Social. Let's actually check his Truth Social account. So as soon as the bombing happened, Donald Trump said this.
Wait, this is Truth Social?
Yes.
Huh.
He said, we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary side of Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He then said this. He then just posted a screenshot of Fordo is gone by an OSINT account. And further said, I will be giving an address to the nation at 10 p.m., which is, I think, in about 20 minutes, at the White House regarding our very successful military operation in Iran. This is an historic moment for the United States of America, Israel. Yeah, we should. And the world. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you. I think, I hope that. So here is the funny thing. And then he posted American flag. That's it.
America.
Here is the thing. No, I'm very proud of this, and I'm very happy.
Yeah.
This is not about entering war. This is about doing what is needed, doing what is necessary.
Humiliating the kuffar.
Yep. And the issue right now is, so Trump says we have destroyed it, we have done it, now is the time for peace. Pretty sure that the way Iran will respond to this is they don't want to be publicly humiliated.
They're in a bad spot, right? Because you have to look tough. But what do you do? Like, what do you do, man? What do you do in response to, we are going to rip your American flag? Ha ha! You'll see how strong we are. What are you guys going to do?
So the expectations from this, and that is the bad thing, the expectations, and so America, prior to this, several days ago, already alerted all kinds of bases in proximity to Iran to prepare and take security and safety measures. But what Iran would probably do in response to this is to try and hit American sites that are in reach.
How well is that going to go for them, AP?
Well, here's the thing. Most likely, they will not be able to hit anything, because right now America is on alert and they can intercept things.
Right.
But the issue is also, if they do that, if they lift a finger and actually try to target an American military site or an American site,
World War III,
the response will be that America will bomb the hell out of this Islamic regime.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's like, you could just take the punch to the face, and guess what? I don't think the United States would do anything else. They were like, okay, the big concern that united everyone was, under no circumstances can you guys have a nuclear weapon. Trump throughout his campaign was saying, hey, don't want wars, don't want wars, don't want wars. But for all of the people who keep posting, Trump said he didn't want wars and now he's starting one. He has also said he's never going to allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. He's been consistent on that. And so guess what? If they just take this, I think it'll be over. But how can they just take it, man? How can that's this weird situation that they're in. They have to do something back, or it's a huge shame and an honor shame culture to just get the crap smacked out of you by the United States. But what do you do back that doesn't result in them taking out your government or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is accurate because it's breaking news, but I saw there weren't even any casualties. It was like extreme precision, catching it when people aren't in there and blowing the crap out of it.
Well, allegedly, Iran's state media said that they had evacuated the site, so the sites. So if true, then no casualties, and I think all of them were also kind of at very isolated sites away from society. So we will have a look at Trump's address to the nation. I will be on the lookout for that. But anybody who wants to let us know as soon as it goes live, as soon as it starts, would like to have a look at that immediately. As soon as Trump makes his announcement. Let me see.
We want breaking apostate news.
Breaking U.S. bombs Iran nuclear site. Trump to address nation at 10 p.m. Eastern time. ABC News special report. All right. Hope he's on time and not late.
Better be on time. We don't want any dilly-dallying.
Yes. Fordo wasn't just another nuclear site. It was Iran's most protected one, but built in secret starting in 2006. It took 6 years to complete and became active in 2012. Really? I thought it was 2009 that they discovered it. Buried under 90 meters of rock near Qom, it was made to survive airstrikes and even bunker buster bombs. The site cost up to $1.7 billion, but for Iran's nuclear ambitions, it was worth far more. Now it's gone. This is one of the biggest blows to Iran's nuclear program. Let's have a look. So this is supposed to be a picture.
I don't think it looks
the whole
like
thing
this
is. The
I
whole
think
thing
this
is
is. I think this is
under a
old. I
mountain.
think this is old.
It's under a mountain. Here's the entrance. And it's a major facility where things take place.
Seems expensive. Be a shame if a great big bomb blew the crap out of that place.
And Roseanne Barr says, "This is what I voted for."
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw a response to that. Hang on, I saw a messed up response to that. 1 second. I did see that. Let's see if I still have it. No, I don't have it up. But someone responded, as usual, only Jew. Someone's responded, as with 9/11, only Jews are celebrating. Like only Jews were celebrating 9/11, and then on top of that, only Jews are celebrating the destruction of Iran's nuclear factory.
I mean, I would expect that such a comment would only be shared and liked by like 5 people who are extremely dumb. But I guess considering how bad things are nowadays, that it's actually a popular thing to say. Jews were not celebrating 9/11. It was actually if anyone in the region, it was the Palestinians who were celebrating. So, but let's see. Netanyahu just dropped a speech.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States.
Righteous might. That's what we have.
History. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength.
He's so happy, man. He rarely looks like this. He's very happy now. He finally got it. So I think he has been asking for this for like 30 years, and I didn't get it, which is very funny considering that lots of people suggest that Israel controls America.
Then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Wow.
Banger. Hey,
I've rarely seen him this happy, man.
Yeah, you can see he's ready to clearly like trying to contain his joy. Hey, I just sent you an X link in the private chat. It's a picture you'll like. You'll like it, man.
Private chat.
It might be your new
And this is live reaction. And here's Tucker's live response.
I'm so sorry. Let's I'm so sorry. Let's
Oh man. Yeah, so I know there are some people who are freaking out about how like here, Brent, would Jesus want this war? Like, here's the thing, Brent, it doesn't matter whether we would want this war or not. It doesn't matter whether Jesus would want this war or not, because it's not a war that our side started.
And for what war? You bombing the crap out of someone's nuclear facilities does not mean there's some war. What are you talking about? Two, seriously, like what makes you think Jesus would be like, oh no, you've got an insane genocidal doomsday death cult working on nuclear bombs because they want to set off things with the entire world and slaughter as many people as possible. And, oh, you're stopping them from doing it. You're stopping them. Oh no! Like what planet do you live on, dude?
Look, I'm going to. I thought earlier today that I should put things very, very briefly to kind of explain it to some people. At least make an effort to do it on my part. So I posted this short explanation here, and you can fact check this with anybody who knows about the topic of nuclear enrichment. Here it is. So the whole Iran situation is very simple. There is no reason to enrich uranium to 10 to 20% purity, should have added that, unless they plan to develop nuclear weapons. So, number one, there is no reason to enrich uranium to 10 to 20% purity unless they plan to develop nuclear weapons. With Iran, we already had a deal that was imposed where it was capped at 3-point-something%, which is well enough for civilian energy usage. You don't need to go above 10%, let alone to 20% for civilian purposes. There is absolutely no single reason to go there. If an authority, if a country deliberately goes above 20% enrichment, there is only one reason to go there, and that is to work toward nuclear weapons. That's it. There is simply no reason at all to go to higher levels of uranium enrichment. However, the Islamic regime openly went to 60%. We have it in 2021 confirmed by Iran, and also just this year confirmed by them that they went up to 60%. 60% is very, very far from 10%. There is no reason to be up here unless you clearly want to develop nuclear weapons. Therefore, the Islamic regime wants to develop nuclear weapons. The Islamic regime must not have nuclear weapons, considering that it is an openly genocidal, destructive, aggressive terrorist regime. We can demonstrate that in many, many ways. But Iran has repeatedly said that it is their goal, that it is their ambition to destroy Israel and to destroy America. Death to America, death to Israel. To destroy all the nations, to subvert them, to overthrow them, and so on. So, such a country, which also in their constitution, by the way, has it that it is their duty to spread the Islamic revolution to the rest of the world, or they call it to fight for the oppressed against the oppressors, which is like typical communist language, and they adopted communist language in the Islamic Revolution when they did it in the 70s. By oppressed, they simply mean anyone who lives under a wrong system, and the oppressor are those who run those wrong systems, such as not Islam, for example. So it is their mission to fight against all these nations. The Islamic regime insisted that it is open to talks, but will under no circumstances go back on its enrichment program. We even got the confirmation to that today. Just today, they said, Iran said that they are willing to talk, but when it comes to their enrichment program or stopping their enrichment program or going to war, they prefer war. This is what Iran themselves said today. Therefore, the Islamic regime must be stopped. That's it. As simple as that. Do you want a genocidal regime of lunatics to have nuclear weapons? No, you don't. Unless you really don't know how the world functions, unless you really are ignorant enough or insane enough to give these murderous bastards the ability to blow up entire nations. I'm sorry. Nobody should be allowing such a thing. They had 60 days to make a deal. They didn't take it, and now it's over. This is a war that they chose and a war that needs to be fought. That's it. And I hope sincerely that there is no need to ever set boots on the ground, but to rather bomb the heck out of them. I'm not sure what Israel is going to do. I'm not sure if Israel is going to actually send in troops. I hope they don't. I hope they can somehow lead it to taking out the regime and handing it over.
I think at this point, the United States and Israel sit back and watch what the Iranian regime does. And if the Iranian regime basically takes their kick in the rear end, takes being al-zooted and doesn't respond, I think the United States and Israel will be done. But if they, I'll destroy your bases and launch rockets at you, I think they're in all kinds of extra trouble.
They'll be in trouble. So a little bit left until we have the speech by Donald Trump.
Hey, you should go through some super chats since there's only a couple minutes away. You can knock out some super chats now.
I shall do. Motor Gear Solid says, I toilet poop Manny's days are numbered.
Very weird.
MT Dave Smith, how dare we destroy Iran's capabilities to make pencils with this 83% enriched uranium?
That is a good point.
Christus ist König says, which bomb went deeper, Zut in Mo or this in Iran?
Zut.
Games bomb sub spamming. I don't care. I think you shared you seem to have shared a video that I can't confirm if it's real or not.
That's the point. Yeah, I went and checked it out too. It could be. We can't. There's too much fake footage of bombings and stuff that happen, and people use footage of a bomb that went off 10 years ago and stuff like that. And we can't post breaking footage if we're not sure about it.
Stop posting the same thing over and over again. I already saw it, and I saw a note somewhere else that it's actually not real. That it's not the right footage. In fact, I think the one that you posted is from a bombing of Syria's port or something like that. MT, Candace Owens, how dare we commit genocide against Iran's enrichment facilities? Veritas, Iran following the Zutna of Momo Zooted. Edsky 70 reminds me of Hezbollah. Jack Ray, Iran forgot to make a Diddy line. Fordo got a big bang like Mohammed under al-Zut. MKL. Sun Quay says, breaking, Ayatollah Khamenei has issued an order to paint Washington and Tel Aviv red with blood. His chat GPT instance is already generating the images.
Powerful.
That's funny. Wait, I would like to check out if actually there's
a response from them.
Direct announcements from them, for which I will have to check Telegram here for a second. And also other news. Press TV, let's check Press TV. Atomic Organization something. Let's see what's up here. Let's see what's going on here. This is a war crime and a violation. Mehdi Hassan says this is a war crime. How is this a war crime, you dummy? How in the world is this a war crime, you dumbass?
Because I've defined anything I don't like as war crime and genocide.
Let's check Press TV. Wait,
hey, check it out.
Hassan, let me check Press TV.
Robert posted, Trump bombs Iranian nuclear sites. Dave Smith and Matt Gaetz' hardest hit. Pretty funny. Even though, again, Matt Gaetz is like, yes, he did it. Yes, you see, this is what I was cheering for.
Look, this is the kind of stuff that the Iranian media shares. I saw it on their own site. Prominent British American journalist Mehdi Hassan. He's not prominent British American. He's just a prominent Muslim. But thank you. Prominent British American journalist Mehdi Hassan calls Trump's attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities a war crime and a violation of the UN Charter. How is this a war crime, man?
Not sure you haven't figured this out, Mehdi, but we don't care. We will bomb the crap out of an Iranian attempt to.
Mehdi Hassan, you should have said goodbye to the nuclear facilities, Mehdi Hassan. It's too late now. You should have said goodbye when you had the chance.
You should have gone given those nuclear facilities a great big slobbery kiss.
A big
goodbye.
Kiss.
Said goodbyes. Wept over them. Think about what kind of garbage loser has a problem with taking out an Iranian nuclear weapon factory.
Keeps coming. Ain't nobody got no problem. The al-Zut facility, a dangerous, reckless escalation. Look at the kind of people that they're propping up here. U.S. Congresswoman.
The usual suspects. The usual suspects.
Yeah. I mean, she should be deported. She should not be an American politician. She should go back to Somalia, where she.
I want to see this. I want to see this. The strikes on Iran
ordered by President Trump and
Come on.
executed without congressional authorization mark a dangerous and reckless escalation of an already volatile conflict in the Middle East.
Translation, Ilhan, someone did something somewhere. Just say it like that. Someone did something to something. Someone did something to something somewhere. That's it. That's the news.
Ilhan Omar. Let me just respond to her quickly. Ilhan Omar.
I'll go ahead and read her entire comment while you're there. The strikes on Iran, ordered by President Trump and executed without congressional authorization. He doesn't need congressional authorization for that. Mark a dangerous and reckless escalation of an already volatile conflict in the Middle East. Military strikes will not bring peace, AP.
Yeah, be quiet, traitor.
Whoa, that's some harsh words, man. Harsh words. Why do you address this traitor in that way?
People booed Donald Trump and shouted no more wars when U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders read out Trump's statement about the U.S. Also a traitor. Iran's atomic organization to issue statements soon on alleged attacks on nuclear sites. Cool. We don't care. U.S. President
AP, it's kind of straightforward. Everyone who's trying to destroy America is mad. Because everyone who's trying to destroy America wants an Iran that is a huge threat to the area.
So they are claiming, the Iranian state TV claims that that only the entrance tunnels were damaged and the main facility at Fordo was not harmed. Yeah, sure, bro.
Show us.
Sure, bro.
Show us the video or it didn't happen.
In major escalation, Trump claims U.S. bombers targeted 3. What escalation, man? What escalation? The only escalation that I see fit here would be the public execution of the leaders of the Islamic Republic of Iran, which I think would not be completely unfair to the people of Iran themselves, who have been oppressed forever. That's actually what they deserve. President Trump just shared Fordo was gone. Okay, anyway, let's continue with the super chats. And Iran, and Iran so far away. Iran all day and night, the mullahs. MT Tucker Carlson, do we even know how many U-238 atoms we destroyed? If we don't know, we can't destroy them. Is it confirmed that the U.S. used MOAB?
It's mother of all bombs.
Mother of all them
power, and they've aimed everything at the West. They've been anti-Western the entire time.
Wait for,
and so that's what that is.
On the lookout
that's
for
what
Donald
that
Trump
regime is all about. And so right now, all the things that are underlie that regime, all the things that underlie,
perhaps he'll make that clearer when he speaks to the nation just a few moments from now. We do know that U.S. military aircraft flew from bases in the United States to Iran.
We might be, quote, invincible because we have...
I assume when he starts talking, they will switch to directly him talking instead of talking themselves, right? Boom Allah. Robin Hood says, I call for a ceasefire now.
Get it? Get it? After we bomb you, then you call for a ceasefire.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I might tweet that. I might tweet that and pretend I came up with it.
Freedom intensifies. Let's see. All right. Trying to catch up with things.
Capability.
It's now 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We anticipate that the president will step up to this podium any moment now.
Hey, ready?
We don't know
Is it ready?
if he's going to come out any second now, any minute now.
MT says leftists hand of Iran's ability to wipe Israel off the map. You see? MKL, Disland AP, your body cam at CC is right streaming live. Christians worship
From the president. This is going to be the first time we've heard him on camera since we heard about this.
Honestly, off topic, but what do you think about this? Like, very briefly, what do you think about this whole topic here? That some Christians are currently so busy discussing that whether Muslims worship. Oh, wait, hold on. There he is.
It looks like President Trump, Vance, and others. It looks like Secretary Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio here. Let's listen to the president after the strikes on Iran.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general.
Raisin Kane, dang, that's his name.
Involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Does he usually say that? I've never heard that before.
What?
You want to thank God? It's God. Thank you. We love you.
I think he messed up. He's obviously got a teleprompter, and it was going to end with God bless the United States and God bless Israel or something like that. And he skipped ahead to God and just started saying God.
Huh. That's very, very good. That's very good. Man, I'm quite happy about this. I'm quite happy about the results. I was hoping that America would step in and America would finally bomb those nuclear facilities as they should be bombed, because that's what needs to be done. The one thing that I hope for right now is simply that that this does not escalate into an unnecessary war, that that the Islamic regime of Iran takes a good lesson from this and walks away, giving up, and in fact surrenders. But I would say Israel will probably continue with their strikes and will hit the regime.
Oh, you saw that?
I'm for no nuclear facility in Iran, and I don't work anymore. What's wrong with people? Israel will most likely continue with the terrorist with the attacks on the terrorist Islamic regime of Iran. So and they will continue taking out their military sites, their missile sites, because I don't think they can just stop now. They started what needed to be done for the longest time. The Islamic regime of Iran has been terrorizing the region forever. They started the war, the operation to put an end to their endless terrorism. And I honestly don't think that they can just be done with that right now. I'm pretty sure that they want to continue until they take down the regime, or until they force them to somehow give up on their operations, on their function as an international terrorist organization once and for all. I think Israel will continue doing that. Yeah. Hey, let's all go and like and retweet my most recent post in response to Ilhan Omar, which says "Be quiet, traitor," so that we can all together tell her our opinion and share the voices of those who have something to say in response to her constant treason, her betrayal, and her love for the Islamist regimes, for the Islamists everywhere. It's time to get rid of her. She needs to go away. She needs to go back to Somalia or somewhere. I don't know. She needs to go back to Somalia. She also said that America is becoming a terrible country or something like that. Why is she still here? Dizzle NAP, your buddy Cam. Okay, now back to this topic. We want to get back to updates on the whole Iran issue as soon as we have more updates. But David, so what are your thoughts on this very briefly?
I'm looking at what Rashida Tlaib just said because it's stupid.
What did she say?
She said, President Trump sending U.S. troops to bomb Iran without the consent of Congress is a blatant violation of our Constitution. That's stupid and false. I forget the exact amount of time, but the president can launch a military attack without the consent of Congress. Anyway. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I just looked it up. The U.S. president can order military strikes, including bombing, without explicit authorization from Congress in certain limited circumstances, primarily in cases of defending the nation against attack or imminent threat. However, the president's power to initiate blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you don't have unlimited power, but if you think something is dangerous and a threat, you do have power as commander-in-chief to do it. Anyway, what? You want to talk about this?
The War Power Resolution of 1973 is a federal law designed to limit the president's power to come into the United States to armed conflict without congressional approval. Has to inform within 48 hours. Yeah, so the United States, the president of the United States is fully able and completely has the right to carry out such strikes without waiting for approval from Congress. So politicians inside the Congress should be aware of this, but they just don't care. Daily address. Israel has been pounding IRGC bases all day, yet it's been 36 hours without a single ballistic missile launch on Israel from Iran. Do they even have the power to retaliate right now? Oh yeah, I haven't seen any recent any significant missile attacks from Iran.
We said as soon as it started and Israel got air superiority over Iran, we said that basically every single day their ability to attack Israel is going to be diminished because Israel's going to see where they're launching stuff and it's going to attack those spots. And if you're launching them from vehicles or something like that, they're going to attack those places. Whatever bases, they're just going to keep attacking and blowing it to shreds.
Remember, they said that there's going to be a big surprise, and the big surprise will be remembered by the world for centuries. That's what they initially said.
What was it?
It never happened.
I missed it.
Never happened.
Well,
allegedly,
maybe we weren't paying attention.
Yeah. But we will remember for centuries that we didn't notice it. So,
hey, just a hat tip, Iran. We can't remember something for decades if we never saw it.
look at this retard now. Look. Here's this retard.
What's going on? What's wrong with this? He kind of looks cool, man, I have to say.
Look at this now. Complete insane lunatic.
I warned you about the frogs.
News is reporting that President Trump, according to White House sources, is considering using a tactical nuclear weapon on the main Iranian nuclear facility because the bunker busters might not be able to take it out. Iran's already said they'll attack our carriers, our ships, and U.S. bases if the U.S. directly strikes them. That will lead to the Strait of Hormuz being blocked by Iran, gas prices exploding, massive inflation, and the destruction of Trump's economic agenda. All the economists agree. But it just gets worse from there. The U.S. already dropped the only.
Now,
is he getting all his news from Syrian girl at this point?
Yes, he posted this yesterday, and meanwhile, America just crippled and destroyed Iran's ability to use nuclear weapons.
Did the U.S. just nuke Iran? Was that a tactical nuke? Was that a tactical nuke? Because if you thought there was some gay frogs now, just imagine all the nuclear waste polluting all the frogs.
What's wrong with you, man? This guy's completely insane. Freaking lunatic. Peace be upon me. Ya Muslim, Yahud, and Nasara are winning, you weakling. Spit them facts, AP, says Daimer's friend. Austin, people forget that God called his people to fight in what? People forget that God called his people to fight in the past sometime to stop the bad guy, the good guy needs to fight. Yes. Whatever you try to say, I completely agree with it.
Yeah, guys, biblically, rulers are there to protect their people and so on.
Yes.
And therefore.
That's exactly right. Stress test. Do you want a genocidal regime of lunatics to have nuclear weapons? What do you mean? Israel already has them. Well, Israel is not a genocidal regime of lunatics, so therefore your answer doesn't make any sense. Stress test. There you go. Snudgewick, God bless you guys. Thank you, Snudgewick. I appreciate that. Emmanuel says, what's Shia vision of 72 virgins, 100 men's strength? I don't know. That's a good point. Austin says, what do you suspect the reaction will be from Iran? Also, sorry for the lack of a spell check. It's all right. So, as said, normally the reasonable reaction would be for Iran to, for the Islamic regime of Iran to at this point say, okay, we get the point. We obviously are defeated. We can't even respond to Israel. And decades of work have just been completely annihilated. Therefore, we concede and we are done with this war. And we will no longer do any of these things. And also hereby we give control over to our people. We will now have a referendum and ask the people if they want an Islamic Republic or not. That will be the reasonable reaction. Of course, that's not the reasonable reaction. What they will probably do is try to carry out some pathetic attacks. And I'm not sure if in response to those pathetic attacks, unless they commit some serious damage, America should respond with brutal responses to finish off the regime or not.
That's the rough spot they're in. They have to do something, right? Because like their entire regime is based on chest thumping. Oh, we're so strong, death to America, death to Israel. They only have the support of the hardliners who only respect strength. That's the only support that the Iranian leaders have. The extremist hardliner Shias are the only support they have in Iran. You can't look weak to that group, right? So they have to do something. At the same time, what can they do? You're talking about the United States. If you fire rockets at a U.S. base or something like that, the United States is just going to bomb the crap out of you, not going to help you. So they have to do something to make it look like they responded without actually ticking off the United States. That's what they have to do. They have to make it look like they've done. They have to make themselves look strong without actually ticking off the U.S. That's what they have to do. What that could be, I have no idea. But it sucks to be in that. It would suck to be in that position. You shouldn't have put yourself in that position, Iran. It's your fault.
Yeah, so according to multiple news earlier today, so let me see if I can find the direct quote from Reuters. But according to multiple sources, the Iranian officials said earlier today that let's see where we have it. If it's a choice between halting uranium enrichment and going to war, we choose war. And an Iranian official tells Reuters. So you want war? Now you have your war. That's it. I'm sorry. This is just how it works. It's not very nice, and I wish things didn't get to this. But you have one side of lunatics wishing for war, saying death to Israel, death to America, and so on forever. And now you have a war that they want, and a war that they will receive, and a war that will probably not end very well for them. I hope and I pray that that the civilian casualties will be limited, that the Iranian people will not be impacted by this, and that the Iranian people, on the contrary, as a result of this, will rise up and once and for all finish this idiotic regime of lunatics. This is a there's a pamphlet going on in Iran, going around, being printed out, sent around among the Iranian people. To the armed forces, the regime is collapsing. Now is the time for national unity. Stand with the people for a free Iran. Is what the pamphlet is. The Crown Prince of Iran, Shah Reza Pahlavi, also has repeatedly once again made announcements asking the army and all government workers and government officials and politicians and all that in Iran to refuse working for the Islamic regime, to defect, to side with the people, and to tear them down. And once again, a reminder, the majority of Iranians are against the Islamic regime. The vast majority of Iranians despise and are against the Islamic regime of Iran. Most people want a different government in Iran. Most people would rather side with a democracy or with a monarchy, with the current crown prince Reza Pahlavi, or with a constitutional monarchy, with a monarchy and democracy and so on. So hope that happens, because the Iranians, they deserve their freedom. They deserve to live in a country where they are no longer oppressed, where they are no longer beaten and killed and treated like animals by these animals at the top of the Iranian regime. Spit them facts, AP. What if a regime justly said, we absolutely hate America and Israel, where immodest dress and all immorality are rampant, but don't wish for nuclear war for our own survival? Can they have nukes? Student of Life said, yet again, I'm glad you decided to go live. Love you, boys. I'm so proud of your military. I'm so proud of our military. Let's see how the likes of DS will spin this. Oh yeah, I wonder if Dave Smith said something about this. Let me see. Dave Smith. I can't believe it's the year 2025, and we're still doing this. Look at this.
What's he whining? What's he doing?
Look at this. Look at this imbecile. Donald Trump has now launched an illegal war of aggression against Iran. The risk of an absolute catastrophe is very high, and the benefits are non-existent. Worst of all, he did it on behalf of a foreign government against a country who posed no threat to us. I'm sure all of the Israelis doing it alone. People will apologize for what they were saying way back today. Well, Israel was doing it alone. Why should they apologize?
Mm-hmm. And what did we say? If the United States does something, they're just going to bomb the crap out of them.
Yeah,
which is what they did.
Which is what they did.
Hey, now I guess there's going to be a huge division forming between Matt Gaetz and Dave Smith, because Matt Gaetz was celebrating the strikes.
Really?
Yep. Fight.
Where?
Fight.
Where? Did he actually celebrate it?
I saw someone share a screenshot. Let me see. Matt Gaetz.
I don't believe you.
Let's see. Yeah, see? It's right there. It's his pinned tweet, man.
Are you freaking kidding me? President Trump, is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah, look what he said. President Trump basically wants this to be like the Soleimani strike, one and done. No regime change war. Trump the peacemaker.
What
he's saying, so he's saying, see, great job. He's not going for the regime change. He just bombed the crap out of
a
them.
freaking weasel, man. What an absolute weasel. And
yeah, and I mean, think about this. The debate was just should the United States support Israel strikes on Iran? And he's like, no. Well, they just did a lot.
And Al-Uzza. Just yesterday, this guy was spending the day before, he was like, no, we shouldn't do anything. We shouldn't do anything. We shouldn't do anything at all. We shouldn't do anything. Why should we do something? We should stay out of this. No. And then as soon as Trump does it, it's like, yeah, proud of Donald Trump. What a freaking... This is so ridiculous, man. This is so... But whatever. I don't care. Whatever. It's not like I'm going to change anyone in here. These people are just... They know the grift, you know? It's like... they say something that is currently popular, and then they just... As soon as Trump makes a move, they immediately flip to his side. That's what they do. That's what you do when you're a grifter, when you do things only for the money and the attention.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Zhang probably pooped his pants today 3 times. Most likely he did, yeah. Supreme Leader Ayatollah David Hilbila Woodini says Mr. Winger started will concluded. Every Wingerling individual and IRC server in the region is now a legitimate target. The triumph of Dawoodians is certain. I'm very, very glad to hear that. Gwyneth Isaac says Alex Jones ranted against us on Saturday's show. Alex Jones is a lunatic. Derek Perry, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, UAE, Bahrain, and Egypt are all celebrating more than Israel. Powerful. They should.
Hey, have we noted the fact that the U.S. military didn't follow Candace Owens' advice to just refuse to obey orders and get dishonorably discharged?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what she was saying, right?
How could they do that? How could they do something like that?
Yeah, they swore an oath. They swore an oath to carry out the orders of the officers appointed over them. And they actually did. Candace said they should refuse to follow orders and just get dishonorably discharged. Huh. That must mean they took their oath more seriously than they take following orders from Candace Owens. That's weird, man. Shame on you for calling Ilhan Omar a traitor.
By the way, here is the Saudi Crown Prince MBS. I really wonder what the community note says. Interviews from 7 years ago. Who gives a damn of when it was, man? Here's the Saudi Crown Prince MBS.
Iran is not a rival to Saudi Arabia. Its army is not among the top 5 armies in the Muslim world. The Saudi economy is larger than the Iranian economy. Iran is far from being equal to Saudi Arabia.
But I've seen that you called the Ayatollah Khamenei the new Hitler of the Middle East.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because he wants to expand. He wants to create his own project in the Middle East, very much like Hitler, who wanted to expand at the time. Many countries around the world and in Europe did not realize how dangerous Hitler was until what happened happened. I don't want to see the same events happening in the Middle East.
Does Saudi Arabia need nuclear weapons to counter Iran?
Saudi Arabia does not want to acquire any nuclear bomb. But without a doubt, if Iran developed a nuclear bomb, we will follow suit as soon as possible.
That is, we've mentioned that before. That is one of the most underrated points that's made in all of this. We think of Iran getting a nuclear weapon as a danger primarily to Israel, possibly to the United States, although you still have to get it to the United States. So the question is, do you have something that fires it over here? Are you going to smuggle it in on a boat? How are you going to get it here? And so on. But there are other repercussions for Iran getting a nuclear bomb, namely that the Sunni nations around them that they're in perpetual conflict with would instantly want nuclear bombs, and they have the oil money to make nuclear bombs. And how would you tell them? How would you tell Saudi Arabia, no, you don't get a nuclear bomb when Iran has one right beside you and they're insane? So you would get, in other words, you would get an a very rapid nuclear arms race in the Middle East, and that's a bad situation.
That's that. That's that, man. That's that, and you shouldn't have that kind of stuff. Not among these lunatics. IMHO Alex is wrong. Yes. He's
wrong.
Telling me wrong is why all the frogs are gay.
In a time where world leaders, knows too much said, in a time world leaders keep capitulating to jihad, Trump made the right call. Let us hope for a free and peaceful Iran soon. Khamenei needs to finally get his own Zabiba. He does. In honor of this, I'm going to finally soon publish my Zabiba song.
Zabiba, I got a big Zabiba.
Radical cleric, I hope the Iranian people are willing to fight to secure a regime change and hold it. If they don't, this will have been a waste of time. That's the difficult thing. Lots of people are asking why the Iranian people are not standing up and not doing something. It is very difficult to stand up and do something in the state and the position that you are in. It would be Iranians are not people who are like Arabs, you know. If it was an Arab nation and something like this was happening in an Arab nation, people would have taken the opportunity immediately and would have started going out and fighting and killing and dying. Iranians are not quite the same. They're not quite as I don't know what you want to call it. They're not as ready to go out and fight and kill and die. And they also are unarmed, and on their opposing side, they don't have terrorist organizations, and they are confronted by a revolutionary Islamic terrorist regime that made it very, very sure that their own population would be weak against them, while they would have a very secure and tight grip on their population, and they would be armed, and they could have intelligence on everyone and could be everywhere when the people want to get up to beat down on them and to suppress any protest. The last time that a mass protest happened, that over hundreds of thousands of people protested in Iran, it resulted in the Iranian regime simply shooting into the crowds and killing over 1,000 people of their own people, because they do not care. Because according to the Iranian constitution, the Islamic revolution is more important than the individuals. The Islamic revolution is more important than anybody. So the Iranian government is not afraid of killing their own people and killing as many of their people as they want, as they have to, in order to preserve their bloody, disgusting, evil regime. So they have to. The people are not as violent as the other Middle Eastern nations, and they have to have a more secure path to victory, to taking down this regime. I would say that from my observation, what the people would very much prefer is that somebody comes and takes over and gives them a referendum. They want it to be in a more peaceful way. They don't like killing.
Yeah, it's actually a rough call, because if they're waiting for someone to come and kind of do it for them, I'm not sure that help is coming. And if there were a time for them to just take to the streets, and yes, the army is going to get violent with you, but the entire world's going to be watching. The entire world's going to be watching, and it will massively shift support over to the people and so on. But now's the time. I mean, I'm not even talking about like going out and fighting the military or something like that. Just passive resistance, taking to the streets, spending all day in the streets until some people start switching sides. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for some military leaders and stuff. Say, you know what? We see the writing on the wall. The Iranian regime is not coming out of this in charge. Not these lunatic Shias. So we're switching sides. We're switching to the people. That happens, guys. That happens.
Yeah. Black Angel said, good morning. Is that clickbait, or did the US really bomb Iran with the B-2 jets? Yes, it's not clickbait. I look at the news. Trump authorized it, and the US went over, and I think did use their stealth bombers and bombed 3 nuclear sites and annihilated them. Good news. Good news. Please read in Trump's voice. He died like a dog. Read it, Donald.
He died like a dog. He cried a lot. I said, don't cry, Khomeini. Don't cry. 72 whores. Don't cry like babies, Khomeini.
Nice, nice. I just hope that they also take out Khamenei very soon. I would like to see him gone.
That's some matter of fact, because I keep saying people aren't going to go in. Other countries probably aren't going to go in and take out the government completely and then install a new government. And I don't even think that's the best idea. But if the Ayatollah insists on some sort of retaliation, would not surprise me at all if someone takes him out. That could happen. Other governments could take out more leaders, even take out the Ayatollah himself. That is a possibility.
I'm glad, man. This is how it's done. America didn't act like the European softy European weasels, and went and actually did something. Caleb Thiacelli says Romans 13:4. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is the servant of God and an avenger of who cries out God's wrath on the wrongdoer. Powerful. Mm-hmm. This is for you, David.
That was me pointing out earlier that, hey, no, what would Jesus do? Well, the Bible says that governments are there for a reason, and they're there to punish wrongdoers and so on. And have to say the Ayatollah is a big one.
MFW, I guess that means my face, when I'm in an anti-Iranian regime competition and my opponent is an Iranian. People really underestimate how opposed Iranians are to the Islamic regime. They hate it. Among the diaspora, so the Iranians you meet outside of Iran, you will not meet a single person who is actually pro-Islamic regime. Of those inside Iran, the majority are also against the regime. This is why. Like I saw a thing earlier. Charlie Kirk, who's just full of dumb takes nowadays about this whole entire conflict. Actually, let me see what he said. What a lineup. President Trump sent multiple decoy bombers west out of the U.S. while the B-2s that ultimately dropped the bunker buster went east undetected. When Trump speaks, you should listen. See? What a sycophant, man. What a sycophant.
Same thing with Matt Gaetz. I can't do, yay, Trump's a hero, because they still want the Trump supporters on their side.
What a sycophant.
America stands with President Trump.
This is my problem with people like these. He will spend days, weeks, doing stuff like, no, we shouldn't get involved. We shouldn't do anything. This is really, really bad. This is really bad. No, we shouldn't do anything at all. No, this is very, very bad. Very bad idea. Oh, no, blah, blah. Then Trump does it, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm proud of Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald Trump. You weasel. You complete weasel. Sycophant. No thanks to you, Charlie Kirk. No thanks to you. Absolutely no thanks to you. Here, of course, he's retweeting his friend, Matt Gaetz, who's just like him. What a weasel. What a weasel. But just earlier today, actually, this is not a MAGA civil war. Just earlier today, it was about Once a Nation bill. There was a post that was going around about, from him, a clip where he was talking about people cannot just defeat the Iranians. Iranians are strong. Not even the Romans could defeat the Persians, and stuff like that. It's like, that's what he was just saying before he started switching sides and saying, I'm proud of Donald Trump. People have these very dumb ideas where they think, oh, this is a fight between Americans and Persians, Americans and Iranians. It's not. It is a fight between Americans or Israelis and the Islamic regime, which has taken the people of Iran hostage. In fact, it is a fight where Americans, Israelis, and Iranians would together fight against the Islamic regime in Iran. It's a hostage situation. It's a hostage crisis. That's what it is. Robin Hood, I hope Trump comes out and says Russia has 2 weeks to stop attacking Ukraine. This is the funny thing about it. Putin said it is a very, very bad idea. It is very dangerous of Donald Trump and of the United States to try and attack nuclear sites in Iran. I advise against doing this. It will be catastrophic. And Trump just said, how about you end your own war first? And then went and bombed. Charlie Hamilton made a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Charlie. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Charlie. Appreciate that. Appreciate. I'm trying to find the sticker here. Can't find the sticker. Where's the sticker? Can't see it on my screen. I will find it one day. The Oracle of Whimsy. Did Obama have congressional approval when he took out Libya? Good question. Did he? I don't know. Mark Vendy. What's the difference between Muslim women being directly forced to wear the hijab and 99% of Western women being socially pressured? Stop incel posting, man. Shield Maiden for Christ.
I think that was a joke because it specifically said being directly forced versus being socially pressured, and then said 99% of women, as if 99% of women go around in yoga pants all day.
I don't know. I think it was incel posting because he also incel posted something earlier. Shield Maiden for Christ. We should be prayerful and prepared for the possibility of sleeper cell attacks. Our borders were unsecure for far too long. Yep, and the West should change that. The West should make its borders secure again. Western nations need to make their borders secure again. Mark H. MOB is bunker buster. MOAB explodes 6 foot elevation. There you go. There's your explanation, David. Elijah Petty, what do you think of Carl Schmitt's theory that political authority is rooted in theological concepts and that true sovereignty lies in the exception? David, what are your thoughts on this, since you are so interested in this?
Political authority is rooted in theological concepts, and that true sovereignty lies in the exception. I don't know what you mean. True sovereignty lies in the exception.
See, David has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
US B-2 bombers involved in Iran strikes, US official says. Yeah, here's your answer. Black Angel. Reuters says US B-2 bombers involved in Iran strikes. There you go. These beasts went over and bombed the place. These absolute beautiful beasts went over there and bombed the nuclear facilities.
What? And Iran didn't shoot them down? They literally shot down.
You see,
Saturn. They shot down a bunch of stuff. Remember that?
Yeah. They shut down Uranus. Like I saw that on a photo as well. Yeah. So Trump bombs Iran exactly at the same time a Jewish teenager stole beer from a store near a church. Coincidence?
That wouldn't happen to have been a Frankist, would it?
Yeah. Ayatollah make Stinker says they beat me in the desert. Peace be upon me. Zit's gonna give it to you. Dr. Wood, check it out.
Don't give it to you.
Yeah, Sal made a song, I think that's called Zit's gonna give it to you.
Oh, really?
With you on the thumbnail. Yeah. Aleris Verus joining John Bolton's party ASAP. Whoever John Bolton is. Michael Beacon, if you need a good laugh, someone just tried to tell me Iran is enriching uranium for educational purposes. What? What kind of educational purposes are those? I'm really curious. Like, what kind of educational purpose could those possibly be? I'm really wondering. Hey, let's have a look at this beautiful video here, man. Enjoy the chants. The chanting doesn't help. I could turn this into a good song, man. I'll keep this. I'll save this somewhere. We need to rush and get that oil now. I think we should rename the land America 2.0. Powerful. Eric Barlow, disobeying orders is an Article 15 under the UCMJ. It's not a dishonorable discharge, but may be much worse, as not accepting it results in a court-martial, or accepting it will impact your future. Powerful. Also, telling people to disobey orders is pretty sure it's a crime. So, or inciting army personnel to disobey orders is a crime. Brown sludge alert. All the toilets in Qatar just flushed. And Jack Ray, a parody of New Kids on the Block, The Right Stuff, and Yankovic, The White Stuff. Songs for Muhammad in the middle of Al Zut would be comedy gold. I don't even know that song. I have no idea how it goes. Derek Perry, we need the Iranian army to swear allegiance to their king and stand up to the IRGC. Only then can the Iranian people be free. Yeah, this is what people are waiting for and hoping for as well. That that the Iranian army would defect, would stop working or collaborating with the IRGC and with the Iranian regime. That they would be independently help the people and go against the Islamic regime for the people. Konstantin Kisin said this is a step too far. The genocide of Iran's innocent nuclear weapons grade uranium enrichment facilities must stop. There you go. K-Theist says, or Cat-Theist says, Afghanistan and Iran both were secular in the 70s. Why Iranians don't want Sharia and Afghans do? With Afghanistan, the situation was a little bit different. I'm pretty sure with Afghanistan, you had a much higher population of people that actually wanted to be Islamic. You had multiple tribalist organizations, Islamic organizations, Islamist movements that fought for Islamism in Afghanistan. In Iran, you didn't really quite have that support. People mostly threw their support behind the Islamic Revolution just because they thought, oh, it's going to bring democracy. And some were for a simply more less directly violent version of implementing Islam. But Iranians themselves were never really hardline Islamist. The Afghans kind of were. Afghanistan is very, very different from Iran. Hu Jintao, love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Otik Soye, tell Kirk to get Trump's balls too. Also, Yemen announced they will enter the war. What? Okay, need to have breaking updates here as we speak. Oh, you mean the Houthis? Yeah, the Houthis, of course.
Oh no! Sorry, I was listening to the Zoots Go and Give It to You. That's a jam. That's a banger. But then I had to come back and find out that, oh no, Yemen's gonna get us.
Oh no! Oh no!
This is what I feared most. What if Yemen gets involved?
Look at this. UN head Guterres calls strikes a threat to international security. The United Nations, the General Secretary, the Guterres, has been nothing but an ally, a defender, running cover for the Islamist regimes and Islamic terrorist organizations. Yeah. This is what the United Nations has become nowadays.
And even if they want to pull strings and do something for their own sick agendas, this is a really bad time to start pulling this stuff, because Trump is the kind of guy, and he's got the kind of administration that'll say, you know what, we're out of this, man. We're gone. We're gone. We'll start our own organization that isn't completely insane. We'll start with just the United States and Israel.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see what else is here. A quick summary of Trump's main remarks. Massive precision strikes in Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan have completely obliterated Iran's clean nuclear enrichment facilities. He called Iran the bully of the Middle East. Everyone can confirm that. And said it must now make peace or face further attacks, which would be far greater and a lot easier. He said hundreds of thousands of people had died as a direct result of their hate. Trump thanked Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, saying the two have worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before.
It's like Batman and Robin are a joke compared to this duo.
He praised Israel's efforts again. I find it so funny that there's a high number of people crying about the alliance between Israel and
I know that's
America.
That's the reason I think it's funny to say it. He knows he's going to tick off at the haters,
and he just doesn't care.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
He doesn't care at all.
That's what's funny.
Like, this is the first thing he emphasizes when he goes.
That's what I mean. He didn't have to say that. He could have just talked about the attack and so on, but he deliberately tossed that in there, and that's funny.
I think that's the funny thing about Donald Trump, that he that contrary to what people think they are doing with these attempts to criticize and to kind of put a divide between America and Israel, between him and Israel, when even voters come to him and say, "No, Israel bad. We don't do Israel. You're just being ruled by Israel." This only pushes him to say, "Bibi Netanyahu is a great friend. We've been working together like no other team has ever worked before." It's amazing, man. Good stuff. He praised Israel's efforts against Iran, but said Saturday's strikes could only be done by the U.S., of course. He warned Iran there will be either peace or there will be tragedy, saying there are many targets left in the country for the U.S. to hit. If peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. So it's not over, unless Iran wants to finish it or finish themselves. Senior officials from the Pentagon, including Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, will hold a press conference at 8 a.m. Sunday. Good. Trump threatens to go after main targets and so on. Trump's speech, Iran facilities obliterated. Okay. Netanyahu praises awesome and righteous might of U.S. strikes.
He should praise it, since he is him and Trump are the greatest duo the world has ever seen.
I just want to see his happy face.
Unbreakable alliance, our unbreakable faith. Trump,
that was cool.
The people of Israel, thank you. The forces of civilization, thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Powerful.
The Super Friends Club, ladies and gentlemen, the Super Friends Club.
God bless America.
Sorry, Candace and Dave Smith, you're not invited.
Candace, it didn't work out for you. I'm very sorry, Candace.
Poor
Candace, it didn't work out. Poor
you tried. So there's that. You tried.
What's this is making rounds now?
She tried. Must that didn't it seem like 8 years ago that the squad is going to be this force to be reckoned with? Now they're like just complete laughing stock and a joke.
Losers. There is I'm not sure how serious this is. I'm not sure what the current updates on that are, but I thought there were some news that the Democratic Party is planning on supporting AOC as candidate for president or vice president, which would be very, very funny.
It would be funny.
In that case, we should just hand the elections to the Republicans.
That's what it would be.
Eric Lucas F. If Jesus were an advisor to Trump, would he or would he not recommend bombs? He wouldn't be an advisor to Trump, and I wouldn't further speculate on what he would and would not recommend.
Yeah, since he wasn't in that situation, what you're basically asking is it the right thing to do to take out Iran's capability, right? Because we would assume that Jesus would advocate the right thing. So is it the right thing to take out Iranian ability to build nuclear weapons? I would say yeah. So unless you have some case against that, not interested in responding further.
Powerful. Mark H. Matt Gaetz was going to be AG, bullet dodged. Yeah. Yaya's Hot Lip says, when is Paul Atreides going to save the Ummah? Whomst? What?
Not going to happen. That's from Dune, man. That's from Dune. The group's clearly based on Muslims and so on.
Based. Liu B, as a little recommendation, in the latest post on Irfan Page's X, 2 Muslims are asked why they don't go to an Islamic country if the West is so bad. The answers were only Islamic insults, of course. It has English subs.
Not surprising.
I'll check it out. I will check it out. In fact, I'll check it out right now. I like Irfan. He's super based. He's a super based guy. Is it his latest? You said latest post, because his latest post is from 42 minutes ago, and yeah, seems like it. Let's see.
Ja, ihr habt einfach das Glück, dass ihr dort Rohstoffe habt, und das war's. Und außer jetzt die Golfstaaten, die reich sind, auch nicht aufgrund dessen, was sie geleistet haben. Deutschland hat kaum Rohstoffe. Trotzdem ist es ein reiches Land. Ja, weil die Leute arbeiten, weil die Leute...
This guy is a brave guy, man. I met him in person, worked together with him.
What's that make you the greatest duo in the world besides Trump and Netanyahu?
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He's an awesome guy.
He's speaking a crap language.
Ihr seid so unverschämt. Das wissen wir, dass ihr unverschämt seid. Ja, aber ihr seid nicht manns genug, euch einer Diskussion zu stellen.
You're not man enough.
Jetzt kommt irgendeine Antifa. Das macht keinen Sinn, mit ihm zu diskutieren. Scheiß drauf. Hey, gib's auf. Ich weiß, du stehst auf so orientalische Männer. Du hoffst, dass da läuft nichts. Ja, also gib's auf, Antifa-Braut. Ja, kommt lieber, lass uns wirklich diskutieren. Ja, und das steht so sinnbildlich. Ja, Deutschhassende, also Sie haben uns ja hier schon als Affen beleidigt. Ja, Deutschhassende, illegale Migranten, ihr seid für mich illegal. Woher kommt ihr? Woher kommt ihr? Schau, jetzt beleidigt er die Linken, die eigentlich auf seiner Seite sind. Und das ist das Bündnis. Das ist das Bündnis der Deutschlandhasser. Das ist das Bündnis der Deutschlandhasser. Selbsthassende, linke Deutsche, die Deutschland zerstören wollen, die das deutsche Volk abschaffen wollen, die Deutschland so überfremden wollen, dass man Deutschland als solches nicht mehr erkennt.
This guy is pretty good, man. It's pretty good. I'm happy to call this guy a friend. Powerful. Fox Big Cloud, love people topping. We need to be isolationists while using a phone made and harvested in several different countries. Yeah, they don't really understand what isolationism implies. Isolationism in today's world would basically imply canceling tons of different agreements, except besides the military interventions and all that. It's a stupid idea. It's like communism. It's dumb. Graham Funlathan 5 this says, will the regime end by the end of the year? I hope they will end within the next 2 weeks, honestly.
And that's the thing, you really can't tell. The regime could end this week. The regime might make it for another 5 years. I think the regime is definitely going to end in our lifetimes and so on, but would be nice to see it end rather quickly. That will depend on, it's going to depend a lot on how Iran reacts to what just happened, and therefore how Israel and the United States are going to move forward. And also going to depend on how the people of Iran react, whether they seize the opportunity that's right in front of them.
Noise. Let's see what else is happening. Defund the United Nations. All right. Sankey says Forced Atomic Energy Organization of Iran condemns savage assault, promises legal action.
Good luck with that. Hope you got a good lawyer, Iran.
Wait, I have to check that out, man. I have to check that out. I gotta check that out. I have got to check this out.
Just have good lawyers. That's all you need.
Atomic Energy Organization of Iran. I think Press TV should have made that announcement already. Iran International English breaking. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization in a statement condemned the U.S. attack on Iran nuclear sites as a blatant violation of international law, especially the NPT, saying it will not allow the development of this national industry to be halted.
A little late, isn't it? It won't let development of its nuclear industry be halted. What? Are you joking?
Number one, it's a little bit late for that.
Yeah, you're a couple hours too late, man.
Number two, very, very bad move if you're going to say, well, we will just continue.
Yeah, think about what they're saying. Well,
very bad move.
Nuclear weapons, you won't stop us. Oh, really?
Here it is. The IAEA vows to continue their nuclear program following tonight's U.S. strikes against nuclear facilities inside Iran.
Do it.
This is pure suicidal mentality. This is suicidal, savage, animalistic mentality that these bastards have. And this is exactly what I mean when I say that to them, their ideal of the Islamic revolution is more important than the lives of all their people, of their entire population. These guys would rather fight and annihilate themselves and the other side than just have peace. This is exactly what they're doing. Their nuclear sites have just been bombed to bits. Their people are asking for them to stop and to stand down and to leave, and they still say, no, we don't care. We don't care about anybody. We will continue to empower the Islamic revolution. These people are pure evil. This is absolutely evil. It's a death cult. That's what it is. It's absolutely evil death cult, and it needs to be destroyed. And I honestly think that, unfortunately, so I would like to believe that after tonight, the deal is done and the conflict is over. Unfortunately, that's probably not the case, considering how bloodthirsty these people are. It will continue. And unfortunately, I think that the only solution would be to go in there and to take out these guys and to punish them and to put them on some international trials and punish them, or to hand them over to the Iranian people, or better yet, hand them over to Israel so that the Israeli government does to those Islamic leaders whatever they deserve. Iran says they will not halt their nuclear program. They will continue despite what happened tonight. Well, yeah, get me a Big Mac. Mark Vendy says Old Testament law was fundamentally the same as Sharia.
Bull, you giant idiot. But just wanted to clarify how stupid that is. Like, Old Testament law, I mean, like, my goodness, like, think about all the differences. One, it's about like what happens on a little tiny plot of land. And it's saying, hey, if you're on this plot of land that God is giving you because the people there already are doing like horrible things, child sacrifice and so on. Here's the agreement. If you're agreeing to be on this little plot of land. And so it's limited geographically, it's limited it's limited in all kinds of ways. And like Sharia is like conquer the entire world and subjugate, violently subjugate everyone. So like Syria, like just that by itself. Are you stupid enough to say it's the same thing? You freaking idiot. Anyway, go ahead. Don't like people saying stupid stuff on that. It's weird. Like the dumber and more clueless you are, the more everyone has to speak on things nowadays.
Wait.
What?
Okay, just tweeting something.
Don't stop tweeting.
Fordo, they beat me in the desert with bombs. Carson Depth, U.S. axis Iran's nuke site. Dave Smith hurt most. Yep. Michael James said they smooched my milky belly in the desert. Yeah, and M Creations, God himself commanded Israel to do far worse to many nations before Jesus, and since Jesus is God, it's venture a guess that he's on a similar page. James the philosopher, AP, I've been an Orthodox Christian for over a year now. I founded Peace X Baha'i here. Wait, I founded Peace X Baha'i here. I found peace. Okay, Christianity is the brotherhood of nations. Powerful. I'm very, very... You're ex-Baha'i? Seriously? Get in touch with me. Really, I'm curious. Get in touch with me. Remus, with so many countries in the world hating Israel and Israel having to constantly fight enemies for generations, how is their economy so robust? They work hard. They work hard. Discipline. Work discipline. They work hard, man. Chris, wer war das? Irfan Peci, sehr based und Witze. Yeah, that was Irfan Peci. Dimer's friend says, Iran with its nuclear arms and legs cut off. Tis only a wish. Tis only a flesh wound. Okay. Robin Hood.
Have you ever even seen that, by the way? Do you know what that's about?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Jesus did flood the earth, wipe out Sodom and Gomorrah, Pharaoh and his army. A few other things, some just to protect Israel. Pharaoh, yes, I know. Steward of Jesus, let us remember the gospel of our Lord Jesus. Let us. Tomorrow is Sunday. John D., I won't be surprised if the ICC puts out an arrest warrant on Trump. LOL. I wouldn't be surprised either at this point. Student of life, the whole deterrent argument from DS is so idiotic when you consider the fact that the Iranian regime would rather die than surrender. That is true. Very, very, very true. this is one of those reasons. I think that it's pretty obvious that some people are on some paychecks. For example, as soon as the strike happened, I saw Kim Iverson make posts about how this is a very, very bad. Donald Trump has just endangered Americans and has done this. I will be voting for the Democrats, and so on. It's like, and then there's Dave Smith, and people like this. They don't listen to any single reason. They don't listen to anything at all. The Islamic regime comes out and says, we will not accept any backing down from our nuclear enrichment program. If we have to fight a war, we will fight a war over this. And you will have Dave Smith coming out and say, Iran just wants peace. They just want to be left alone. These people don't listen to any reason at all. They just are here to do the propaganda on behalf of the Islamic terrorist regime. And I bet that they are on some paychecks of certain nations to do this kind of stuff. It works. Not very long though. It doesn't work in the long term. You can contact me on Twitter. Mark Vendy says, I don't really care what Mark Vendy says. So David, finally, before we leave, what is your thought on this? MKL says, Dizzlin AP, your body cam at CSC is right streaming live that Muslims and Christians worship the same God. Discuss with Cam, it matters. What do you think about this whole conversation here?
Well, there you see what popery does to people, ladies and gentlemen. The popery makes you believe, apparently, judging from this super chat about what Cam is saying. We don't know. We're not there. But this super chat strongly suggests that popery will turn you into a sort of person who says that Christians and Muslims worship the exact same God and in the exact same way, and that we're all on the exact same page. Thanks, Cameron. That is your name.
But you would say that that Muslims and Christians and Muslims do not worship the same God at all. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it depends on whether you agree with the popery or not.
That sounds pretty racist.
What's Cameron saying? Just finished calling out Jay Dyer. Oh, he actually was. Just says Jay Dyer has gone on a rampage recently, arguing that Christians and Muslims do not worship the same God. So interesting.
Well, they don't. They don't. So
Cameron is being humiliated.
That's that. Yeah, I guess the whole discussion arises because multiple popes said that that Christians and Muslims do worship the same God, and also that the Vatican II decisions and teachings are basically that that Christians and Muslims worship the same God. So they have to basically accept that as a valid and true doctrine, and have to somehow defend this idea. So that's why they are arguing that as Christians and Muslims do worship the same God. In all honesty, I don't really care about the whole conversation. I don't care that much about it. What I care about more is when a certain pope comes and says, "May John the Baptist protect Islam." I think when a pope actually says something like that, I would say, I'm sorry, but that pope has problems. What's wrong with you? And unfortunately, that's what Pope John Paul II did. He said exactly that. That to me sounds very similar to just going out and saying, "May John the Baptist protect Satanism." That's basically it, you know. May John the Baptist protect Satan worship. May John the Baptist protect the worship of I don't know, of evil, something like that. It's pretty messed up. All right. Anything else, David? You want to say? I don't see any breaking updates so far. We will see over the next hours what will happen. But I wasn't going to go live today. We went live to quickly cover this whole issue. We will be following if there's any urgent thing. Let's see. One one post says, "Can't believe I fell asleep for an hour and missed World War III."
Don't worry, there's going to be another one next week.
Finally, Chris says, repeating a question from last week, I want to try Christianity, but I have no idea which church to go. Maybe not the RCC basis on these quotes from the Pope. Serious question. I mean, I don't want to influence your decision on what church to choose based on what I just said, but make your own choices depending on what you think is right, and go there and see it for yourself. Of course, David is going to say, no, only Protestant churches are right, because all the others, they don't follow the Bible.
Yep.
David, what do you think?
Yep. Good to walk up into a church and say, what do you believe? Break it all down for me and see if it lines up with the Bible. Powerful. And if it does, you're in a good Protestant church, so stick there.
Eric Barlow, the law is more like guidelines rather than a strict code. David should have been unalive for eating the bread of the presence. Powerful. Cool, Bob. What do you think the best case, worst case scenarios for this whole conflict? Best case would be that that the Iranian regime leaders are destroyed and publicly taken care of, or even
they see the writing on the wall and they go into Russian exile in Moscow or something like that and go hide.
And the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi comes in and is made monarch, and the Iranians have free elections for themselves. That would be the best case scenario, in my opinion. The worst case scenario is that
they
Iran
continue on.
Yeah.
No, they continue on, and nothing changes, and they continue being this crap terrorist regime forever.
I mean, the worst case scenario would also be that that they somehow pull something out of their sleeves to cause massive numbers of deaths. The funny thing, the danger that many people don't realize is that the Fordo nuclear facility is a deep underground facility. There is absolutely no reason at all. This is another point. There is absolutely no reason at all to have an underground nuclear facility. No reason at all to hide it from the public. The only reason to do that is that you have insidious, bad motives for it, and you're prepared for nuclear weapons. And one of the fears is that Iran could have, or the Iranian regime could use the current situation to quickly develop nuclear weapons and to try and use them. That would be the worst case scenario, but I don't think that's possible anymore. Sahimas, Chris, Fordo, and Mohammed, they busted me in the desert. Nathaniel says, they beat me in the desert. Shalom from Israel. Shalom back to Israel. All right, David, anything else?
That's it.
All right, so
we've said it all.
That's it. Thanks everybody for joining in. God bless America and God bless Israel.
And our unshakable alliance.
Yes, there you go. And also, tomorrow is Sunday. It's time to go to church. Or else face the consequences that I might unleash upon you. But thanks everybody for watching. We will be together once again tomorrow on David Wood's channel, where we will finally be talking about some useful, interesting things and not stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Until then, as always, have a good day and
stay away from Islam.
Powerful.